such a situation like now, when you have our colleagues who are outside, and by the way, don't think that they are going away from FDC. They love FDC. They want to come. There is simply a failure in management of the contradictions that we are having. I was asking colleagues, it's not the first time that we are having issues of this one is working with an adversary, but there is a way we have always managed them. When you feel Moses is working with an adversary, you technically and quietly push him away from the vital office and information. Then you let the situation continue. That is why that is why the word more is not new in FDC. We've lived with that word. What does that mean? That someone is working with an adversary. When we feel you are working with an adversary, we come here. We campaign against you. We make it a campaign issue. And we tell delegates that this person, the way we look at him, we don't trust him. He should be pushed away. That's what I will be telling you. I want to conclude, and I want to conclude, colleagues. I want to conclude by asking my colleagues, the party, Honorable Nandara and Honorable Amriat. You have seen, I was talking to the Electoral Commission, over 120 young people came and picked forms to offer leadership. That was the only thing we are requesting you. The only thing that we are requesting you, facilitate a smooth electoral exercise. There are things that we can no longer rectify now, time and everything, but going forward, let these young people who have come up to aspire for leadership compete fairly, so that someone loses or wins fairly. When I lost to him in 2017, I gave one of the best concession speeches in this country, because I felt that he deserved, he had won fairly. Even now we are competing, I would want to win fairly. Finally, colleagues, I would have said this to my two colleagues only, but I should also say it. One of the things that hurt me, out of the 39 districts that compose Western Uganda, 20 districts are missing out in this process. And yet, those 20 districts have got supporters who would have loved to be here. I know what my brother Centenary, I understand, don't actually say at their own wish. Most of them didn't wish. And they're making calls and they're saying, someone sat on us, but we are FDC. We would want to participate. Can we have some plans for them? Yes, Mr. Secretary General and my brother Amria, I know, let's take an administrative or political decision. Let's see what we can do. We can't afford to go into a process and conclude it when there is an entire region that is out. We will not do much. We discussed together already that even after this election, no matter who wins between us, we should be able to have activities that are intended to revive the vibrance of our supporters, no matter who wins by rejuvenate the morale, and even convince our colleagues to return back. And when I come to youth campaign, I'll be giving you my proposals on how I think we can resolve this crisis. I thank you, and surely I love you all.
Thank you very much. My brother Moses Biamugisha. My friends have spoken about historical events of this party. And I've taken the opportunity to thank a number of people who formed the building blocks of this organization. Today, when I see and read what is happening on social media, where FDC is going against FDC, using very, very unkind words, I feel very sad for those who put their all into the building of this organization. Previous speakers have spoken about my brother, Yusuf Sibambi. Around the country, talking to some of you in the last few weeks, and I did speak to the goodness and brilliance of Yusuf Sibambi. 58 leaders left Uganda to go to South Africa, and in a place outside Johannesburg, about 1 hour north, called Krugersdorp, we held the first ever National Delegates Conference of the FDC. The FDC had already been formed back home. And one of our main objectives of going to South Africa was to endorse Dr. Kizza Besigye and cause his return to this country. Some of you were privy to this event. But there was a turning point when Dr. Kizza Besigye was arrested and his candidature for the election of 2006 was on the balance. I want to thank Yusuf Sibambi, who is here. Yimba Mutale, who is not with us. John Matovu, who is also not here, for saving the candidature of Dr. Kizza Besigye. So for you who goes on social media to insult these three gentlemen, claiming you are fighting for Dr. Kizza Besigye, you do not know what you are fighting for. I could go on and on, but I'm one person whose defiance credentials some people want to question. Somebody who has been in jail several times, including staying in Nagalama, lying on the same floor with Dr. Kizza Besigye for 13 days, waiting to be charged with murder. And today, a man with 30 consistent years of resistance against the dictatorship in Kampala is being branded an ANRM person, preparing to sell the FDC to Museveni. That is probably the greatest insult I have had in the my entire political career. But you would expect this in politics. When you disagree with some people. I came here in 2017 courtesy of the votes that some of you gave to me. I had expected a smooth presidency. I thought because I was supported by everybody, I would be allowed to sit in Najanankumbi and help to direct matters here. Unfortunately, some people thought otherwise. They thought I should be under the direction and control of them that I would be told what to do while president here, that I would serve their interests while sitting in Najanangumi. I said to them, I'm a man of my own. I am not going to come under the command, direction, instruction of anybody, whatever he says. I think that's where my troubles with Katonga started. When the FDC was in great need of having a candidate for the presidency, we went to Dr. Kizabeski and asked whether he would change his mind about an earlier decision that he had taken not to run. And he said, I'm not running. The next that we asked from him was support in terms of, first of all, looking for votes, but also in terms of financing, helping us to show us where he used to get money. He failed us on both accounts and gave all sorts of excuses why he would not come to the elections. I traveled from north to east, east to west, south to West Nile. I went to the plains of Teso. I went to the terraces of Kigezi, to Bundibujo. I saw some of you coming from Bundibujo here, Chairman Musema and the others, as if I was an orphan. And yet I had put in my everything during the previous elections, supporting Dr. Kizabeski. Indeed, as it has already been mentioned, I risked my constituency in 2016 when I was appointed the National Field Coordinator for the national campaign. First, during the internal processes where Dr. Kizabeski was elected flag bearer, and then later in the national campaigns. And there is evidence to this. Recently, I told our founding president I didn't believe it was about dirty money, that he didn't come to the campaign. It wasn't about COVID either, but it was because he wanted to preserve himself for another day politically. We here in the leadership came under intense pressure to hand over the flag to the NUP candidate, and we rejected that. We felt we had a responsibility to preserve our party. We were not about to surrender our party at the whims of individuals serving personal interests to another political organization. If we hadn't done that, there'll probably be no FDC to speak about today. That was my crime number 2. Today we gather here, ladies and gentlemen, fellow comrades, to underline our democratic credentials. And permit me at this point to congratulate all of you who successfully got elected in your different villages, parishes, sub-counties, counties, districts. Congratulations, comrades. It is because of you that we can speak about an election. And this particular election was conducted under very difficult circumstances, as you are aware, because there was conflicting information. Our friends in Katonga said, don't participate in the elections. And some people listened to them. Because of the two centers of power, the second center of power actually, that Katonga has deliberately built over the years. And to you, my brother Moses, it's not just that we dislike the districts in Western Uganda. As a matter of fact, it is the leaders, or the former leaders now, who shielded the common man from participating in that election. And I want to assure you, my dear friends, we are going to work around that to ensure that the 20 districts, or even less, of Western Uganda get on board. And work has already started. Your coming here emphasizes the fact that you are going to listen to one command center, your president, and the leaders in Najanankumbi are not the leadership in Katonga, because they do not constitute the recognized leadership that was elected into office under the law. Yes. And so I sometimes laugh at my elder Dr. Kiza Mesje, Elias Lukoago, the Lord Mayor, a man of the law, people like Semujunganda, Ambassador Birigwa, Mujuke and the rest, for attempting to stage a coup. This is the fourth attempt to remove the leadership from Najanankumbi. The first attempt is when they came here, breathing fire to challenge the authority of the president and that of the Secretary General. We pushed them back. The second attempt was together with people around the Lord Mayor, whom I appointed. They attempted to disorganize the National Executive Committee in order that the elections that we have participated and are going to participate in does not happen. From that time, they ran to Zambia and they fell flat on their faces. They went to the fairway and they fell flat on their faces. The third attempt to stage a coup was when Dr. Kiza Besige came here to the 15th National Council. And true to his promise of 3 years before, he came accusing me, the Secretary General, and the leadership here of taking dirty money from Selim. And the Secretary General has spoken, and I believe spoken for all of us on this matter. That coup as well collapsed. later, instead of going through the front door, happened on the 19th at Katonga, where a chairman of the party, behaving like a comedian, hastily organized what they now call an extraordinary delegates conference. I want to say to you, my dear friends, we are here, we are in charge. Those leaders who assign themselves duties are leaders of Katonga, they are leaders of Birigwa, they are leaders of Dr. Kiza Besije. They have no bearing at all. The leadership in Najana Nkumbi and the leadership has remained intact. I was a bit tempted to fire Birigwa, Salam, and Kajinda for failing in their duties under the Constitution. But so far I have been restrained by the working committee. The moment I have my way, Birigwa will no longer be chairman of this party. I have the powers under Article 28, 3B, Roman 3 to perform that duty. I will tell you this today. What we have learned about what is happening in Najana Nkumbi today is that we need to entrust responsibility in the hands of serious people, not jokers. We need to trust leadership in the hands of people who truly understand our party. Sometimes when I see Birigwa playing around with the party, he was one mistake that we made. He had just come from NRM a day before and brought under the guise that he was an expert in Buganda affairs, that he knew Mengo, that he had a following in Buganda. He was even an ambassador before, brought the Celtel here, knew how to dance very well. He danced before, you remember. But yet, he had never felt the pain that we went through building this party. Today, one of the biggest mistakes that we have is when we allowed Elias Lukwago, a person known as a trouble causer everywhere he goes, to come here and the following day is appointed deputy president. We didn't know that he was brought in here as a mercenary by the people in Katonga. I want to apologize to you, my dear friends, for an error in judgment in bringing in a mercenary who has never meant well for our organization. Wherever he goes, he kills parties. He moves to the next. He kills another one. Wherever he goes, he kills the next. He thought he would kill FDC, but I'm sorry for him, my dear friends. Nobody is going to kill this party, I want to assure you. Nobody is going to take this party anywhere, I want to assure you. So long as were in charge of this organization. Lastly, but not the least, I know many of you have got to travel long distances. I would like to say to you, on Monday, next week, I will be hitting the road to come to your communities. Prepare. We won't be living in hotels. My team and I will be living amongst you. We are going to finish this campaign successfully, and there is going to be an election to bring in leaders. There is a lady who became senior in this place and became the biggest disruption I've ever had in my political life. She will come drunk to neck, sometimes carrying water, and she will shout at the top of her voice, and she will want to fight everybody. Do not send to neck those kind of characters, because if we continue having those type of characters, they will cause the failure of this political organization. I want to promise you that in the next 5 years, we are going to stabilize this party. We managed the departure of General Muntu, even if it was heavy on us. We have managed to transcend people who thought they were the Alpha and the Omega. We went into the elections without them and achieved something. We are going to manage the rumblings in Katonga, and I'm sure those who were misled to believe that this party belongs to one person will turn around and return to their home. I would like us to work together to ensure this happens, so that we may continue to move together as one Uganda, one people. Thank you very much for your kind attention. God bless you, FDC oye! FDC oye! Nandala Mafabi oye!